Hello there and welcome aboard, friends. If you're watching this, chances are you already know the special magic of cruising. Maybe you love the idea of waking up in a new port without ever having to repack your suitcase. Maybe it's the joy of endless dining options, Broadway-style shows at sea, or simply sitting on your balcony watching the waves roll by. For many of us, especially after 60 or 70, cruising isn't just about travel. It's about comfort, adventure without stress, and the freedom to explore the world at our own pace. But here's the thing. Even the most seasoned travelers can fall into certain traps. And when it comes to cruising, a small mistake can mean wasted money, missed opportunities, or even a dent in your health and safety. That's why today, we're diving into 15 common mistakes senior cruisers still make, and how to avoid them in this digital age. Stick with me because some of these tips may surprise you and others will make you think, why didn't I know that sooner? And before we set sail, don't forget to subscribe to TravelVibes, your go-to channel for cruise wisdom and insider tips that help you travel smarter, safer, and happier. Mistake 1. Underestimating medication needs. One of the biggest mistakes senior travelers still make is believing that packing just enough medication will get them through the voyage. The truth is, cruise ships don't carry full pharmacies, and local ports may not always have your exact prescriptions. For those of us who love the freedom of the open sea, this small oversight can quickly turn into a major worry. That's why it's so important to bring extra medication, at least 5 to 7 days more than you think you'll need. Think of it as a safety net, because travel plans don't always go exactly as scheduled. A delayed flight, a missed connection, or even a weather-related detour could extend your trip. As Mark Twain once said, "It is better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one, than to have an opportunity and not be prepared." Keep your medicines in their original bottles or in convenient blister packs from your pharmacy, and never put them in checked luggage. Carry them with you, close at hand, just like your passport. And to make life even easier, keep a printed list and a quick digital copy on your phone. It's a simple habit that gives peace of mind, letting you relax and enjoy the sunsets, the laughter, and the memories you set out to make. Mistake 2. Traveling without adequate medical insurance. Another mistake many senior cruisers make is assuming their regular health coverage will protect them at sea. Unfortunately, traditional Medicare often doesn't apply outside the United States, and most private policies offer very limited help once you're on board. The reality is that medical care on a ship, or worse, an emergency evacuation by helicopter, can cost tens of thousands of dollars. That's not the kind of souvenir anyone wants to bring home. For travelers in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, peace of mind matters as much as the destination. We're at a stage of life where we value comfort, safety, and the freedom to explore without constant worry. That's exactly why cruise-specific travel insurance is worth every penny. A good policy should cover emergency care, evacuation, and even trip interruptions. As Benjamin Franklin wisely said, "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." Taking time to read the fine print before you sail ensures you'll never be caught off guard. With proper coverage, you can step on board knowing that if life throws an unexpected wave your way, you're still protected and free to enjoy the journey with a lighter heart. Mistake 3. Packing too much and carrying the weight. It's tempting to bring everything just in case, but overpacking can turn a relaxing cruise into a tiring chore. Seniors who love to wander freely, explore new ports, and stroll the ship's long hallways often discover that heavy bags make those first and last days exhausting. Lugging bulky suitcases through busy terminals or climbing a set of stairs when elevators are crowded is no way to start a vacation. Instead, think light and practical. Choose versatile outfits that can be mixed and matched. And remember that most cruise ships now offer laundry services, making it easy to refresh your wardrobe mid-trip. Packing cubes or simple organizers can also make life on board smoother, so you spend less time digging through clothes and more time enjoying sunsets at sea. As Coco Chanel once reminded us, elegance is refusal. By refusing to overpack, you gain the freedom to move comfortably, save energy for the adventures ahead, and truly embrace the effortless lifestyle that cruising is meant to provide. And isn't that what we all want after 60? Travel that feels lighter, simpler, and far more joyful? Mistake 4. Ignoring technology and cruise apps. In the past, you could enjoy a cruise without ever touching a phone. But today's cruises are more digital than ever. From dining reservations to daily schedules, even urgent announcements, much of the experience is delivered through a cruise line's app. Without it, you might miss a spectacular show, a special discount, or a sudden change in your itinerary. And that could mean losing out on memories you were hoping to create. For seniors who cherish convenience and love staying organized, this little tool can be a real game changer. The good news is you don't have to be a tech wizard to use it. Download the app before you sail, explore its features at home, and make sure your phone plan or a simple eSIM will keep you connected in port. Even if you dream of unplugging and simply listening to the sound of the waves, staying connected just enough ensures you're informed without feeling tied to a screen. As Albert Einstein reminded us, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Embracing a touch of technology lets you cruise smarter, safer, and with more freedom to truly enjoy every moment. Mistake 5. Falling for cruise scams. One of the most unfortunate realities of modern travel is the rise of scams that target seniors, often because criminals assume we're less familiar with digital tricks. Fake booking websites, phishing emails, or urgent phone calls demanding payment can look convincing. And in port, the traps are just as real, like inflated taxi fares or tours that don't exist once you've handed over cash. For those of us who treasure peace of mind and want our vacations to be about joy, not stress, the key is vigilance. Always book excursions through your cruise line or trusted providers and double-check any phone numbers or emails before acting. If a deal sounds too good to be true, like a sudden free upgrade or bonus credit, it usually is. As the great Warren Buffett once said, it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. Protecting your personal information and being cautious online ensures your good name, your savings, and your cruise memories stay exactly where they belong, with you. Staying alert means you can focus on the sunsets, the laughter, and the freedom of the sea. Mistake 6. Choosing the wrong excursions. Excursions are often the highlight of a cruise, but for many seniors, picking the wrong one can turn excitement into exhaustion. Some tours involve steep terrain, uneven cobblestones, or long walks under the sun, and while they sound adventurous on paper, they may not match the comfort level we truly want at this stage of life. Injuries and fatigue happen most often off the ship, not on it, and that's why being realistic about your limits is so important. Cruisers who value relaxation, culture, and gentle exploration should look closely at the excursion ratings, whether they're labeled easy, moderate, or strenuous. These labels aren't just suggestions, they're there to help you choose wisely. And remember, there's no shame in opting for a slower-paced outing. You're here to enjoy, not to compete. When in doubt, stop by the excursion desk on board and ask questions before booking. As Aristotle wisely said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Choosing the right excursions means you'll return to the ship happy, energized, and ready for the next adventure instead of sore or disappointed. After all, a great cruise isn't about doing it all, it's about doing what brings you joy. Mistake 7. Picking the wrong cabin location. Your cabin is your home at sea, and choosing the wrong spot can make the difference between a restful voyage and a frustrating one. Many seniors accidentally book guarantee cabins that end up far from elevators, or worse, right above a noisy nightclub. Others assume that scooters or wheelchairs will fit in any room, only to discover that space is far more limited than expected once they board. For those of us who value comfort, easy access, and a quiet place to recharge, taking time to research cabin maps is essential. If mobility is a concern, booking early is key since accessible cabins are limited and often sell out quickly. Checking the dimensions for scooters or wheelchairs in advance also saves stress and disappointment later on. As the old saying goes, home is where the heart is. And on a cruise, your cabin truly becomes your sanctuary. Choosing wisely ensures that every evening ends in peace. Every morning begins with ease, and your energy is reserved for the adventures and discoveries that drew you to the sea in the first place. Mistake 8. Cruising on the wrong ship for your needs. Not every cruise ship is created equal, and picking the wrong one can leave you feeling out of place. A mega ship packed with water slides and thousands of families might be perfect for children and young travelers, But if what you truly enjoy is a quiet lounge, fine dining, and evenings of calm conversation, it could feel overwhelming. On the other hand, a smaller, intimate vessel may offer peace and charm, but could disappoint if you're someone who loves big productions, bustling activities, and endless entertainment choices. For seniors who value comfort, culture, and the right balance of energy, the secret is simple. Match the ship to your lifestyle. Before you book, take time to read honest reviews, watch ship tours online, and even ask your travel agent to compare options. Choosing the right fit means the atmosphere around you will feel like home at sea, not a compromise. As Confucius once said, the man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Choosing the right ship is one of those small stones, a thoughtful step that ensures your journey feels effortless, joyful, and truly aligned with the experience you deserve. Mistake 9. Not preparing for slips and falls. One of the most common causes of injury at sea isn't a storm or rough waves. It's something as simple as a fall. Wet pool decks, slippery buffet floors, and uneven cobblestones in port can turn a carefree stroll into an unwelcome accident. For seniors who love to explore, who enjoy walking the promenade deck, or wandering through charming old towns on shore, this is a risk that shouldn't be ignored. The solution isn't complicated, but it does require mindfulness. Wearing supportive, non-slip shoes makes a world of difference, especially on long days ashore. Moving at a relaxed pace, instead of rushing through crowded or damp areas, gives your body time to stay steady. And even if you feel confident, using handrails is a simple act of wisdom, not weakness. As the famous saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. By preparing for slips and falls, you protect not only your health but also the precious time you've set aside for joy, discovery, and connection. After all, the best souvenirs from your cruise should be memories and photos, not sprained ankles. Mistake 10. Forgetting about tender ports. Not every cruise ship can dock directly at the pier, and that's when you'll encounter what's called tendering. This means stepping from the big ship onto a smaller boat that ferries you ashore, sometimes with the waves rocking gently beneath your feet. For seniors who value stability, comfort, and peace of mind, this process can feel a little intimidating if you're not prepared. The key is knowing what to expect. Checking your itinerary ahead of time will tell you whether tender ports are included. If you know climbing aboard might be difficult, there's no shame in simply enjoying the ship on those days. It often feels like having a floating resort all to yourself. And remember, the crew is trained to assist, so never hesitate to ask for a steady hand or a bit of guidance. As Helen Keller once said, "Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much." Trusting the crew and planning ahead ensures that tender ports add to your adventure rather than take away from it. After all, the goal isn't just to reach every shore, but to travel with ease, confidence, awe, and joy. Mistake 11. Not requesting wheelchair or mobility assistance. Many senior travelers believe that if they don't use a wheelchair every day, they shouldn't ask for help during a cruise. But embarkation and disembarkation often mean long walks through busy terminals, winding gangways, and sometimes even carrying luggage along the way. For those of us who value energy for sightseeing, dancing, or simply enjoying the view from the deck, saving that strength is far more important than pushing ourselves unnecessarily. What many don't realize is that wheelchair assistance is free, discreet, and designed exactly for this purpose. By requesting it in advance, you remove stress and make boarding or leaving the ship smooth and comfortable. It's not about weakness, it's about wisdom and making the most of your trip. As Maya Angelou beautifully put it, do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. Knowing this service is available means you can choose it without hesitation, and by doing so, you open the door to a cruise experience that feels effortless, leaving you with more time and energy for the joyful moments that matter. Mistake 12. Ignoring hydration and nutrition at sea. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of buffets, poolside drinks, and endless dining options, but many seniors forget how strongly sun, heat, and salty food can affect their bodies. Dehydration sneaks up faster at sea than on land, and when combined with long days exploring ports, it can leave you feeling drained instead of delighted. For travelers who love strolling the deck at sunrise or enjoying excursions in warm climates, staying hydrated is just as important as wearing sunscreen. Carrying a simple, refillable water bottle ensures you always have a sip nearby, while balancing rich meals with lighter options keeps your energy steady throughout the day. And don't be tempted to skip lunch just to save room for a grand dinner. Your body will only crash later, stealing joy from the very moments you came to enjoy. As Hippocrates, the father of medicine, once said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." By honoring hydration and nutrition, you give yourself the gift of energy, clarity, and vitality. So every day of your cruise feels like the adventure it was meant to be. Mistake 13. Skipping safety drills or not paying attention. It's easy to see the muster drill as just another formality, something standing between you and the first cocktail by the pool. Yet emergencies, while rare, do happen, and those few minutes of attention can make all the difference. For seniors who value peace of mind and enjoy traveling with loved ones, taking this drill seriously is one of the simplest ways to protect yourself and those around you. Knowing your assembly station, practicing the route, and making sure your travel partner understands it too turns a boring announcement into a life-saving habit. Think of it like fastening your seatbelt on an airplane. You may never need it, but if you do, you'll be grateful you took it seriously. As Winston Churchill once said, "He who fails to plan is planning to fail." By giving your full focus to safety drills, you plan for the unexpected with wisdom and calm. And once it's done, you can relax fully, knowing that no matter what happens, you're prepared to keep your cruise as joyful and worry-free as possible. Mistake 14. Not budgeting for onboard extras. One of the most common surprises for first-time and even seasoned cruisers is realizing that the cruise fare doesn't cover everything. Drinks packages, Wi-Fi, specialty dining, spa treatments, and gratuities can add up quickly, sometimes costing as much as the cruise itself if you're not careful. For seniors who value comfort and enjoy treating themselves, it's all too easy to swipe the cruise card without noticing how much is piling up. The smartest approach is to create a spending plan before you sail. Decide which extras will truly add joy to your journey and which ones you can skip without regret. Maybe you love fine dining but don't need the drink package, or perhaps you'd rather enjoy free entertainment instead of splurging on costly shore shows. As John D. Rockefeller once said, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." Budgeting for extras doesn't mean denying yourself. It means making choices that keep your cruise carefree instead of stressful. With a plan in place, every indulgence feels intentional, and you return home with memories, not financial regrets. Mistake 15. Forgetting that age is just a number. Perhaps the greatest mistake of all is believing that cruising is too late for adventure. The truth is, age does not define what you can enjoy on the open sea. Some seniors in their 70s or 80s still hike glaciers, snorkel among colorful reefs, or dance until midnight under the stars. Others find equal joy in reading by the pool, savoring afternoon tea, or taking gentle excursions at a slower pace. Both paths are equally valid, because the real key lies in choosing what makes your trip fulfilling. Cruising at this stage of life is about freedom, the freedom to shape your days exactly as you wish. Whether you crave excitement or serenity, your years of wisdom give you the clarity to know what truly brings happiness. As George Eliot once said, "It is never too late to be what you might have been." That reminder is especially powerful on a cruise, where every sunrise at sea invites you to live fully, with confidence and joy, no matter your age. So there you have it, 15 of the most common cruise mistakes senior travelers still make, along with the simple, smart ways to avoid them. The beauty of cruising after 65 isn't about limiting yourself. It's about using the wisdom you've gained to travel lighter, plan better, and enjoy the journey with greater confidence. Every voyage at this stage of life should be about joy, connection, and lasting memories, not stress, not regret. The ocean is waiting, and every sunrise at sea is an invitation to keep exploring. So when you step on board, remember that you're not just taking a trip. You're investing in experiences that nourish your spirit and remind you it's never too late to live fully. If this video inspired you or helped you feel more prepared for your next adventure, give it a like and subscribe to Travel Vibes for weekly cruise wisdom crafted especially for senior travelers. And before you go, join the conversation in the comments. Which of these mistakes have you seen others make? Or what's the best lesson you've learned from cruising after 60? Because together, we can make every cruise not just a vacation, but a voyage worth remembering.